if we are live then now. Not just yet. Not showing it's live yet.
I'm seeing it.
What, on the channel?
It's live. I am. It's live. You're good.
Oh, okay then. Hello there. Good evening there. Just a little bit later than usual. I went away for a pee. So here we go. I'm back now. So yeah, this is the BTCC blueprints for STDash84. Season 10, round 3 of the championship at Dragon Tail Seaside. I'm your commentator as always, Sean, and beside me, who actually said to me, being a trampoline salesman has its ups and downs, it's Jetty Bear. How you doing?
Oh, doing amazing, man. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling a little bit achy, but other than that, we're all good here so far. Trying to settle down my dog after last night's fireworks and what have you, because it was just a nightmare for him. But apart from that, we are all good.
Well, that is good to hear, man.
Yeah,
you ready for Dragon Trail?
I am ready. I'm super stoked for this because I know I've raced here before in the past, and it usually has some really good racing. So hopefully tonight is some exception here tonight, because I like this racetrack. I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoy this racetrack.
Well, as a driver, no. It's got the death chicane. Like, no.
Yes.
I mean, you can't. Like, you can only love it for, like, 2/3 of it, because it's got the whole death chicane section. And luckily, they're in the GR4s, which are slower, so you have that aspect, but GR4s tend to oversteer a little bit, so that's not helpful with a wall right there either.
No.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, Gardens exists. It doesn't have a death chicane. It's a fantastic track, but no, the track's done really well by GT Sport. It's just, kind of has a part of the track that would never exist in real life, right?
Well, yeah, I was just going to mention about that death chicane, but there you go, you covered it. So that's that sheet of paper just crumpled up. So we'll go to the Drivers' Championship, and we've seen here that Tompkinson is still leading the way, but the lead isn't as big as what it was last week. Only 7 points now with Tompkinson and Piper, and then Milden on 116, tied with McEwen, also on 116. Jordan Hogan, 5th in the points, quite distantly back from McEwen on 92, then Rob Adams on 91, Sean Cool on 85, and then it is Clements on 68, Chevalier on 40, Austin on 29, Nathan Myers on 20, Thomas Walsh on 19, Jeff Colombaro on 7 points, who isn't here tonight, so that's going to be big here for Ash Sharp, because he's sitting currently, sadly, on no points at all, as Clements has just joined the room when there's about 2 minutes to go. That's typical of Clements. As for the team championships, Honda is still dominating it. They've got a 59-point lead over Audi. That is Rob and Chris. Then it's Ben and Alex in the Ford Mondeo on 145. Then it is Adam and Thomas in the Volvo, still on both on 145. Then it's the Vauxhalls of 116 points of Ashley and, well, I should say Liam, because Ashley's contributed, unfortunately, no points yet. Jeff and Jordan, the Nissan team, have got 99 points, and in last place is the two Thomases. Actually, not Thomas Morris, he's left now. It's Nathan and Thomas Chevalier on 60 points. Also to mention, too, that Chevalier did finish on the podium. He did receive a 10-second penalty after that punt on Sharp. So his podium finish had not come in. And also Tompkinson, I think it was in the first race, he hit Milden in the first corner. He had a 3-second penalty. So Ben finished ahead of... oh, there goes Tompkinson, spinning into turn 1. Very unusual place, unless he was trying to show off front the cameras there. But yeah, that was, I think that was pretty much it. Also, Chevalier's got 2 warnings because of that incident in the third race, so he's on 2 warnings. I don't know what you get if you're on your 3rd warning. If it's like a points penalty, a race ban, I don't know. And I think Ben may have,
a 4th warning.
Potentially, yeah. So, so we're getting ready for some qualifying. And what do you think strategy will be out? Will it be just the same as what it's been before?
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be curious to see what people have planned. There's not usually enough time to really jump in and check everybody's tires and do anything like that, so you probably have to have it planned ahead. Since they have to start on what they qualify on, and we've been seeing that have meaningful changes, the people that are on the mediums have been doing quite well. I'm curious to see how many people are willing to do it.
No,
we're about to find out.
Yeah, we're about to find out in about 5 seconds' time. Just noticing too there that Lewis Edwards returning to the championship. He is replacing Colin Barrow for the week. I don't know if that's going to contribute to Colin Barrow's points, because if it does, then that's disastrous for Sharp. So here we go, getting qualifying underway.
We do have a couple people on mediums, with Milden starting on mediums, Liam starting on mediums.
Yes, I think they're going to sacrifice. They're going to sacrifice their qualifying lap for the outcome of the race in the first race.
It might not be a bad idea here, because a lot of time can be made up if you can find a way to hit a good death chicane. A lot of time can be made up with just like falling in and trying to slipstream in some areas. So you might not actually qualify at the very back, but I mean, super softs versus mediums, they're probably qualifying at the back. But there's some things you could do to try to mitigate that some.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, this circuit is pretty much fun in some cases, but it's just that death chicane. I think that's what's going to go down to. The people that are on the super soft tyres, they've got to get that death chicane completely right, because if they can, they'll be on for a good lap. If they don't, they're going to hit the wall, and they're going to have quite a fair bit of damage on their cars, which I think we need to count tonight, because I think... Yeah, I know. I've seen a fair few drivers slapping the outside wall on the exit of the death chicane. So I'm reckoning there's going to be at least more than 50 people 50 times that wall's going to be hit.
Yeah, probably. It's a very easy wall to hit. It kind of, and then you'll even notice there's variations to hitting the wall as well, which if they've practiced quite a bit, which I'm sure they have, they would know these variations probably, because there's if you get nothing, you lose no time, and the GR4 makes it a little bit easier. If you just scrape it, you usually only lose about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then you can full on hit it, and that'll straight drop 30 miles an hour in just a blink of an eye, and they'll vastly change your times. Again, it's lucky being the GR4s. They do go a little bit slower through the death chicane, which does make it a little bit easier in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, it's still real easy to run into that wall right there and scrub a lot of time real fast.
Indeed. So we're just seeing Clements just making his way through the first chicane. I think also in terms of qualifying, I think slipstream could be a good thing to have, because there is a fair amount of straights on this. Like the start-finish line is quite a decent straight. After the death chicane, it's a bit of a decent straight too. Ooh, Clement's getting it all wrong now off of turn 5. But other than that,
yeah, I mean,
think
it's
slipstream
good
could
catch
be
up, but
yeah.
It's tough because there's not a long enough straight to really use it as an easy pass like some of the Tokyo tracks and stuff like that. So on qualifying, you can kind of get stuck in a situation where all it's doing is helping you maintain the gap. So if you're making mistakes, it'll pull you back in. But it can actually, if you actually have a faster pace in the car in front of you, you can kind of get stuck in a situation where you keep catching them in bad corners and you can't overtake them in them, and you kind of ends up crushing your time. So it looks like a lot of people have kind of tried to stay either at the very edge of slip or straight up out of it.
Yeah, just noticing here, you've got the two Nissans working together as Adam Piper gets turn 10 completely wrong. And now Sean has cancelled that lap time because he was in the middle of Piper and Walsh. But there you can just see there you had the two Audis leading the way. Then you got the two Nissans trying to work together. And then you got the two Volvos together. And then you've also got the two Vauxhalls that are close together and all. I wonder if
that little bit of slip can definitely help you out, and that allows you to work as a team going through the corner. So it's not smart, because the problem would be you wouldn't be able to pass people. But since they're going to get another lap and they've kind of gotten organized into their teams, they can actually work with each other to try to make it gain them both time.
Well, Edwards so far setting the pace, 1:44.417 for the Nissan driver from returning to the series, and he is 2 tenths ahead of Clements, who we are looking at. Chevalier is only 11 thousandths slower than Clements' time, and that is the only Renault in the field. Although saying that there, Tompkinson, the championship leader, goes into second place, 1:44.5. He's just now a tenth and a half slower than Edwards' time, who did set the pace in practice. And Alex Austin comes across with a 1:46.0. That will put him in, let me see where that put him. That puts him in 8th position. Looking here at Piper, sitting second in the championship, in 9th place on the Super Softs. And he's got that part of the complex completely wrong, and then just shortcutting turn 9. I think I think his qualifying may be done for Piper, but he may help Thomas Walsh. He's actually out-qualifying his more experienced teammate, so that's a good effort from for Thomas.
Well, it is also interesting to watch both Sean. Well, Sean and Sharp are both without real good laps yet, so they are actually being beat by both the medium drivers. So those are currently free passes if they can't find a way to get better laps on this last lap, because they're currently sitting last while on super softs.
And there's the first stream there of someone hitting the wall off the def chicane. That is Liam McEwen, ladies and gentlemen, there. Yeah, so Sharp needs to get a good qualifying here. He's just making his way underneath the bridge, going towards the last corner. Now, qualifying has ended. Let's see if anyone has improved. Edwards hasn't. Jordan hasn't from his 7th place. Piper does improve. He goes up to 5th place. Sean goes even quicker, I think. Yeah, he goes into 5th. Just puts Piper down to 6th place. Rob Adams down to 7th. Thomas Welsh went even quicker, but not fast enough, unfortunately. Just waiting for some more guys to come across the line. I want to see what Ash Sharp can do. No, he's actually finished.
He's crossed the line in a 52.
Yeah, he's just crossed the line.
He wasn't able to improve.
Yeah, so
which is good for the medium drivers. That's a free pass for them.
But obviously not good though for Sharp, because he was qualifying on the super softs, and Vauxhall sitting on the last row in 12th and 13th respectively. So here we go then. The first race of 3 at Dragon Trail Seaside. It is Edwards, then Tompkinson, then Clements, Chevalier, Cool, Piper, Adams, Welsh, Hogan, Austin, Milden, McEwen and Sharp. That is the field. 9 laps around this 15-corner circuit. I cannot wait for this, because I think this is going to be some good, fun racing. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, a pause, and we are away for round number 7 of the championship, and it looks like it's a good start from, I think that was Adams on the 4th row of the grid, and I think there's a car trying to put the way 3 wide in the middle. That is Tompkinson, but look, in the inside, that is Chevalier. He's got up on it into 3rd position now as Chevalier, but they're going to go 3 abreast possibly into turn 1, the chicane. Are we all going to get through nice and safely through there? Yes, indeed we do. I want to see if Sharp...
Some bumping in the back, but it mostly is all good.
Yeah, but all good. Yeah, all good so far. Still looking here at Ash. He says this is his favourite circuit, but I mean, qualifying dead last, that's certainly not good there for Sharp. Although he has a look on the inside of Alex Austin in the Ford, and he goes by, so that's a position gained. Meanwhile, back up front, Edwards still leads the way. Then it is Tompkinson, followed by Piper. So you got the 2 championship protagonists sitting 2nd and 3rd respectively. Then Chevalier in that 4th position, the only Renault driver in the field. And then Clements, the first of the first of the Audis, as Thomas Walsh has been pushed out wide.
Way wide.
So he's going to lose a couple of spots in the process. And McEwen, from 12th, he's already up into 9th position. So that's a good start for McEwen, even though he started on the softs, and gets into contact again with Sharp. But Sharp gets it there. Yeah, it makes a little contact.
Are they going to go too wide through the depth chicane? Are Adams and Sharp going to keep this stuck in like this? Oh, nope, there's the contact.
Oh, and there's more sparks flying. Let's see if anyone's hit the wall. Sharp did a little bit, just a little kiss with the wall. That's nothing harm in that. He will lose some momentum though, as meanwhile that is Adams. I think he's trying to get by Sharp, who did hit the wall, so he lost some momentum, did as Sharp, but he's lost a spot, but nothing lost that much. And then Austin has passed Thomas Welsh, and now this is when the medium guys will make their pit stops. Milton comes in, as well as McEwen. I think you said those were the only 2 that started on the medium.
That is correct, and Clements and Sean for 5th and 6th are currently side by side as Chevalier is also trying to battle in. There's a lot of, like, the leader's just kind of getting separated if he doesn't make any mistakes, because pretty much almost everyone's trying to battle behind him.
Got ourselves a 3-car battle now for the 5th place. Clements in the Audi, then followed by Sean Koo in the Honda, then it's Jordan Hogan in the Nissan as they're making their way through turn 5, the sharp 2nd gear corner, about 65 miles an hour, then back onto the power for this fast sequence of corners. 6, 7, 8, 9. I love this camera angle. That's such a great view. 3-car battle for 2nd, 3-car battle for 5th, and 3-car battle for 8th too. Interesting. Battles are 3. It's like Noah Ark, but a lot wider.
It's kind of what happens, because you can't go too crazy through a lot of the chicane sections. So every lap when you go through, like, any group that starts to battle around the chicanes are just going to lose so much time to those who don't. So they will start to slowly kind of turn into little groups.
Just seen there that Sharp ran 10-10 a little wide, and he's lost a spot to Welsh in the process. Also seen, I think Sharp may have just nearly hit the inside wall. It's Cool. What's happened to Cool? Sean's got damage. I think he's scraped the inside wall of the Death Chicane. It must have been the Death Chicane. Let's ride on board with him. I think it's clipped the inside, did he? Oh, yeah,
it looked like he had damage on the left.
Yeah, he clipped the wall and then went to the left on the right side. That's what happened. So Cool
Austin
down to
just
9th.
Came in to get rid of his medium, so I may have missed him starting on mediums.
So Sean all the way down into 9th place now, and Thomas with that little moment the previous couple of laps ago. Sharp getting it completely wrong at turn 3, but Walsh making his recovery up into 8th place. And let's ride on board then with Thomas. The battle between Jordan, Hogan and Adams right in front of him, and then just ahead of them is Clement. So Jordan Hogan in a bit of an Audi sandwich at the moment. A Chevalier looks a lot closer to the back of Piper. Tompkinson looks like he's getting closer to Edwards up front.
Yeah, he's gotten to separate a little bit. He got stopped battling with, so now they're just on a pace race unless anyone catches him up. So that's a good place to be when you're as fast as Tompkinson is. I'm sure he has no problem going pace for pace with just about anyone. The Death Chicane always makes a difference here. There's a lot of sections, but mainly it.
I saw Clement run right at turn 10, and now behind him, his teammate Rob Adams has got by Jordan Hogan, so that's a position changed. And now Thomas Walsh is all over the back of Hogan. Let's ride again on board with Thomas, making his way through the Death Chicane, all nice and tidy. May have lost a little bit of speed.
By the way, is currently purple on his first super soft lap, so him and Milden are on a pace of their own right now, and it's crushing what they're currently running on the super softs in the lead.
I wonder if Liam actually made a pass and Ben, well, we missed out there, because I know Ben Cape was ahead of Liam in the pits, and I don't know if they came out exactly the same or if Liam has actually gone ahead, but we'll keep an eye out here on Liam. Let's see if he's going to set a purple time. Followed behind as well as Alex Austin down in that last position. Fastest lap though to Chevalier in 4th place, and he is all over the back of Piper, and he's trying to find a way by. Don't forget you get a championship point for pole position, which Edwards will have done, but so far the bonus point for the fast lap will go to Chevalier, and he is all over the back of the Volvo.
Yeah, it's tough to get passes coming into these S's. Like, if you don't pick the right line, you're going to lose time for both of you. So you're really, like, being this close can be very detrimental because you're just constantly, like, see, he had to pull out a little bit there. He could have gone a little quicker if he wasn't, like, right on him and stuff. So, you know, it's going to be tough because you actually want to catch him about right here, realistically, because then you can actually go side by side and battle. And it's a tough corner to get around him on because you never, like, it's easy to kind of, like, delay your defense right because of how the track runs. So it's tough to get side by side. You kind of have to take the outside line and just undercut him to the left. But I think actually riding someone this close, unless the goal is just to put him under pressure, is probably not going to be your best bet. Through the Death Chicane you would, because you want to put a lot of pressure on him, but coming around that back, you almost want to give yourself a 10th so that you can, like, use the slipstream as an advantage, not as a disadvantage on him.
Oh, I thought them three were nearly hitting the Death Chicane there. Just noticing that with Thomas Welsh just trying to find a way by Hogan. Hogan hasn't got that car dialed in just yet, whereas Thomas certainly has, and he's trying to find a way by Jordan, who makes it through at turn 15 and finally gets 7th place now away from Hogan. So again, Welsh with that recovery, but with the incident that he had on the first lap, and he is doing so far a good job. Up into P7 he goes. I think that's where he qualified. No, he qualified 8th, my bad. Meanwhile, the gap now, Tompkinson to Edwards, has come down now. So Tompkinson has definitely found a comfort zone here, and now he's all over the back of the leader, returning driver Lewis Edwards. Still, Chevalier getting harassed now by Chevalier, but now Clements has made his way into the battle. So 3-car battle for that 3rd place. And it's his teammate Rob Adams. Looks like he's a bit alone in that 6th place. There you got Thomas, who's run wide off at turn 5, so nearly that hard work was all gone. And now Hogan is all over the back, as well as Sean Cool, who's trying to have a look on the inside, going in towards turn 7. And no, he's not going to get the position done just yet. Clipping the curb to both Thomas and Jordan. And now Sean's going to try and find a way by. Oh, Jordan spins nearly. Yeah, tank slapped. Jordan tank slapped and hits the wall. Let's get a replay of that. And through goes there, Sharp, up into 9th place. But I think that was just a classic case of, yeah, just the car understeered off of turn 9. Tank slapped. And around she goes and then kisses the barrier. And then through goes Sharp.
I mean, it's a tough track for sure, and there's just dirt everywhere, so any kind of mistakes can just get real tough to get back onto with walls and everything as well. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed right now of how well the guys, McEwen and Milton were able to do. Milton, I went back too far, has just been keeping pace the whole time. Their times are quite decent compared to the leaders, and they're only just now catching up with traffic. So if they can cleanly get through about these two cars, they'll almost have a whole lap of no more traffic. So they might actually be right up there battling, because their times are real close. A little bit worse, but real close to the same things the leaders are running, and better than the ones like 3rd and 4th and 5th are running.
Yeah, just looking on board there with McEwen. I think I just seen there Sean Cool made his pit stop, and someone else as well. Sean's gone into the medium tyres now. I'm wondering if he's just sacrificing this race to start on the pole for race 2. Now, I don't know if there's any like tactics that deployed so he gets an advantage.
Oh, good save. Way to keep it under control, but it's definitely going to lose the position to McEwen. But Ben's getting slowed down by him because he couldn't quite be as advantageous about it. So that might. Oh, he's off again. That's rough. It's a flow track, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing the opposite of that if you look at Tompkinson. Tompkinson started off really slow, who's actually battling for the lead, right?
Yeah, just going back to the lead now.
He started off quite slow, and now he's really started to get that flow going. And once you start feeling comfortable with this kind of track, it just flows so well. You just kind of get in the rhythm.
Chevalier's had huge amount of damage there. He's hit the def chicane wall. And he actually got that 3rd place away. He actually got that 3rd position from Piper. And then it just all went pot here. He just clipped that NCA. He just clipped that right part of the wall. Chicane. It is a tough chicane.
It's gonna eat a few people. It's already eaten a few. It'll probably still eat a few more. Every race is gonna have a couple people go into it, because that's kind of otherwise this track would be really easy, right? If that wasn't a really difficult chicane, there's just not that many difficult corners here. So like from a casting perspective, it's a fantastic chicane, but when you're driving, it's just this whole track. You're just keeping the same pace. And you're just like, oh my god, it's coming again. We're getting closer to it, and it's just gonna eat someone, and you just hope it isn't you.
Well, just seeing again, the battle for the lead still raging on. Battle for 3rd place is now going on between the Volvo of Piper and the Audi of Chris Clements there. Rob Adams there too is still a little bit back, and then they got Chevalier recovering from the hard impact at the def chicane. It's now down into 6th position, but Piper gets turn 6 a little wide. Sorry, that's turn 8 there. Sorry, that's my bad. Now is that an opportunity for Clements to get an overlap on Piper? They're going to be side by side downhill towards turn 10. He's starting to put a lead on Piper, and he gets the 3rd place. So nice racing etiquette on the part of Clements to get into that 3rd spot, and he's now on the podium.
Absolutely, and fair play, nice racing. I mean, and honestly, fair play to Chevalier as well. That was a huge hit he took, and realistically, he's only 6 seconds off the lead. That means he recovered and got back up to speed pretty quick.
I think he's going to be a little bit more careful.
Taking care of those. Yeah, but being able to take care of that and keep your calm and cool and get back on pace, I mean, that's awesome. That's good driving. I usually can't do that. It takes me like 3 laps to get on pace.
McEwen is now up into 7th place after starting the race on mediums, as well as Milton.
Clements is coming into pit.
Clements is coming in.
Like the only one. Nope.
Oh, Chevalier's coming in. Yeah.
So Liam and Milton should probably be right with or ahead of them as they come out.
We'll find out, actually. Let's have a
look.
Right
with Chevalier.
Yeah, they're going to be with Chevalier.
Not where they wanted to come out. I think they would have rather have been able to come out in front of them so that they could still be gaining on the leaders, because the leaders are technically still ahead of these guys.
Oh God, McEwen getting turn 3 a little bit wrong. So he's going to lose some gap there. So the gap now is like 1.5 seconds. So as try as they might,
jump on Tompkinson real quick because he has the right distance for slipstream if he's looking for a move down this straight, where he's doing the kind of what I was talking about earlier, where he's keeping the distance so he can use it down this to get a run. Now, I don't know if this is the one he's going for, but he's definitely trying to figure out how much it moves him in. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how far he can go so he can get the distance right.
Oh,
well, if I remember right, I think I was looking at him last lap, and he did the same thing at a little bit different of a distance. I think he's trying to figure out where he can do it from, because he applied this exact same pressure to him through the death chicane to try to get him to kill himself, which is
he's done it! He's done it! He did it! He did it! He put the pressure on Edwards! And Edwards has got a ton of damage there, and that is what Tompkinson wanted to see. Through goes Piper, through goes Adams, and a catastrophic mistake there on the part. He just turned in too early. He turned in too early at the death chicane.
It happens when you're looking in your rearview mirror, or you're just trying to get really cute with it and cut it a little bit more to maintain your speed a little bit. I mean, it's going to eat more and more and more people. Like, there are 2 more races coming, and there's just not much you can do. It's going to get some people. I mean, you'll get more consistent with it, but it's just going to take some people, especially when you're fighting.
Well, we're on to the final lap of the race here, and I think Edwards could may lose a few more spots in the process, because Bacure may have gone by, Chevalier's gone by, Milton's gone by, so Edwards, who's been dominating the whole race, he's down to 8th position, and he's quite a far bit back from the guys that are ahead. In fact, he's lost 8th place. Here goes Walsh. He passes him at the chicane.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to battle for every position now, get what he can get. But, I mean, he knows that it's a mistake that cost him this. Like, you know, it was his race to lose, and that's what happened. He's got 2 more tries. I don't think he would be saying that he can't still take 2 more races.
Looking at this battle then, going on for 2nd place. Clements leads the way, 3.7 there behind Tompkinson. Barden, if he doesn't mess up at the death chicane. But looks like the championship leader could be on his way for yet another win and extend the championship lead over Piper, who's sitting there in that 3rd position. It's pretty much damage limitations in the first race according to Piper, but Adams in that 4th place. Then you got McEwen, who pitted in on lap 1. He's in 5th. Chevalier in 6th, and Milton in that 7th spot. And then Edwards has regained that 8th place now on Thomas Walsh. And if Sharp can hold on here, which it looks like he is, he's going to get his first championship points. So that's great to see for Sharp if he can hold on and maintain that 10th place. And it looks like Tompkinson has got the death chicane completely right. Now it's going to be all for 2nd place, and again Clements goes heavily defensive. Look at the line of cars there trying to stay in the tow, but up front it's going to be Tompkinson with yet another victory. He's going to use a completely different racing line, waves across the line. He's going to win the first race here. 2nd is just going to be Clements, only just over ahead of Piper. Then it's Adams. Then it is McEwen.
Might have a run.
Oh yeah, no. Thomas doesn't get it though. So McEwen gets 5th, 6th for Chevalier, 7th for Milton. Edwards gets 8th, and now we just wait now for Ash Sharp. He's going to get his first points of the season. Sharp gets points, Austin gets 11th, and Sean Gould finishing in last place. But I think he may have miscalculated, because if he wanted to start dead last, that's for the 3rd race. This is the ball draw for round race 2. So I wonder if that was a mistake on Sean's part there to technically finish in last place, because maybe he thought it was the reverse quid.
It could have just been bad race. To be fair, I didn't see what happened originally that dropped him out, but we saw him kind of fall back in the pack, and then if I had to guess, I'd say he probably just made another timely mistake, and it's just not really worth giving all of your energy on the race that's over when you're battling for no points anyways. Like, if he gains another position, it's still no points. So why even put any effort into it? Get across the line, get ready for the next race. But, I mean, what a race from Tompkinson. You know, I knew he was fast. We've seen him, you know, dominating some of these races with just straight pace, but he's also been losing races every now and then too. And so I honestly was thinking maybe he's just, his racecraft isn't there, it's just all pace. But I mean, straight up fair play. Watching those last few laps where he was just like figuring out exactly how he could get, where he could get, what he could do, and just outplayed, right? Like, literally some amazing driving.
Indeed. So we just got the unofficial results here. The stewards will check over if there was any incidents in that race that we didn't see. or what have you. But anyway, we're concentrating for balls 6 down to 12. I don't know if Jordan Hogan is going to come back. I'm not too sure. But anyway, we're looking at Chevalier in 6, Milton 7, Edwards in 8, ball 9 is Thomas Welsh, ball 10 is Ash Sharp, ball 11 is Alex Austin, and ball 12 is Sean Cool. Also, fastest lap went to Chevalier with a 1:44.397, so he gets a bonus point for the fastest lap. And I've been putting my hand in my ball bag for such a long time, so I'm going to get one of my balls out. That's so much innuendo right there. And it will be, it's either ball 6 or ball 12. If I've got 13, 14 and 15, I'm kind of fudged. It's ball 13, right? We're going to have to redo it again. It would have been Hogan if he would have stayed in, actually, but he left, so... Oh dear.
No worries.
I forgot to save the replay. Oops a daisy. Right, take 2. If it's ball 14 or 15, oh no. Here we go. It will be ball number 10. It's Sharp. Ash Sharp gets the pole. Well, there you go. He gets his first points, and he's going to start on the pole for race 2. So let's put me balls back in my bag, and I will put it in the chat. So yeah, the first race was pretty decent. Hopefully, race 2 will be a little bit better. Well, normally race 2 is a little bit normal, isn't it? Before the reverse grid for the third race, isn't it?
We don't usually have in race 1 though the 2, 3, 4 like leaders. That whole 1 through 5 pack, maybe 1 through 6 about pack. I think it might be 1 through 5 pack. Usually finishes in some version of like 1 through 5-ish. So interesting to see someone who looked like they had pace to be pretty competitive at 1, being back at, I don't quite remember what position Edwards finished in, 8th?
8th. He finished 8th.
Yeah. So that's going to be a fun watch, watching him try to battle back through the field, watching him, what tires he starts on. Does he just fall completely back and use his super softs on the track by himself, or does he actually start ready to battle and start on those super softs? So that'll be an interesting watch to see him come through. We usually get to see more of that in race 3 because the leaders all start at the back, but this race has one of the leaders just randomly getting thrown to the back. We have seen how fast Sean is, so Sean starting at the back is going to be a fantastic watch. I expect an amazing, a difficult drive. Could be amazing, or could be difficult, because starting at the back is difficult. So I think, we might be in for quite a good second race, where we usually don't see that until the third. The second race is usually a little bit more calm and organized. And then this track itself just lends to people with similar paces just getting stuck together, because it's just, there's nowhere real good to get a good pass and a good run on anyone, and then you just kind of pull everybody around with you, and then you just try not to die in the chicane.
Of course, that's everyone's mind there. They don't want to die at the chicane.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at your big time gains on this track, you've got the chicane, because hitting it good versus bad is a huge time gain. And you've got the last corner, because hitting that right and getting on the throttle early is going to give you a higher top speed down the longest straight on the track. And you got the chicane right there, which realistically isn't that hard once you've learned it. It's not that big a time loss.
No.
And then after that, you don't have anything else. It's a pretty easy full speed corner into another pretty wide running open. Unless you spin out of that hairpin thing, you're fine. You didn't lose much. The S's are almost flat out. You're not going to lose much there if you have slip. And then you have the big back section. And that's all of your time loss right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it does tend to bring everybody into one big group that has similar paces, because there's nowhere to go.
Just up there doing some lovely donuts there, just off of turn 9. So we're getting the second race underway. Oh, and now Clements has left the room, so we may have to restart the lobby here. We may have to quit the race for now and get Clements back in.
Red flag.
Yeah, red flag. Everyone back into the pits. We've got to wait for Clements here.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they are. I hope they will be.
I have no idea what the plan is.
No, neither do I. I'm in the dark as well.
If they launch, I'll just pretend it's a launch. Yep.
Are they going to get
I think
underway?
We're probably going.
Well, so Clements says he got disconnected here. So I don't know if they want to restart or what. I'm not too sure. I don't know what's actually happening. Oh, he's just joined. Now,
they
what's
all
happening?
should be seeing him join back, so hopefully... Let's find out what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm quite interested.
Going on. I don't know. I'm sure there's a rule in place somewhere.
Yeah, I think there should be.
And someone knows it. Because you know me, I don't know rules, and I rarely follow them. So
I know Ben or Sean probably know the rules, but I think to me they're just getting on with it. I think
that might be the rule. You know, yeah. I mean, it would make sense. We do. You know, I know a lot of leagues that like once it's launched, it's launched. There's not much you can do. But we are racing, so we should probably focus on them because they're battling.
Well, that's a shame there, because that's what Clement didn't really need after finishing. What was it, second? No, was it second? Yeah, it was second.
You know. So he's asking. He'll find out.
Yeah, probably, hopefully someone will respond to him, but they're in the heat of battle of racing though, so I don't know. That's going to be a tough one here. That could be a tough one to call.
Well, until they make a call on that, I'm worried about Milton and Chevalier right now trying to go side by side. Maybe they know. Nope, they backed out. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I think it might just still be live, but I mean, it's been good for Piper. Piper has gotten or Piper and Sharp, I should say, they've both gotten decent separation early.
Well, damage into the championship
as the people
leader.
behind them have mediums. Well, the people behind them are on mediums, so honestly, as they can keep their pace, that's not bad because you're going to have some super softs starting to get stuck behind them. Oh, the guy ran into the pit wall. Did someone hit the pit wall? Am I blind? Does someone have damage? I guess it was just it was probably just lag. Okay, it was probably just some sort of lag.
Yeah, Clements is not happy about it. It looks like they're going to keep on racing, which, again, I don't know the rules, but on board with Scooby, and he makes a little lunge on Thomas there. Ooh. That's why I just went quiet, because I wasn't too sure if we were going to restart the race or what. I don't know. But by the looks of it, I think we're going to be still racing with Clements' unfortunate disconnect, so... You know, I don't know the rules here. I know Ben and Sean and that will probably know the rules, but I still don't know, like. But it looks like we're going to keep on racing because we're 2 laps in. They're 2 laps in, so looks like the other guys actually the guys that started on the mediums have gone onto the super soft. So that was a whole bunch of drivers that came into the pits. And leading the way is McEwen, then it is Adams, then it is Milton, then it is Edwards. And you were mentioning about Edwards at the start there before race 2. He did start on the medium tyres, so he's going to work his way through the one.
I mean, it's very smart, right? I was curious because he's starting so middle of the field, because usually rule of thumb is if you start at the front, you start on the softer tire. If you start at the back, you start on the slower tire. Obviously, with any strategy, you can mix and match stuff, and what you prefer can make a difference, but that's kind of just general rule of thumb, so I was kind of curious how he would start it being so middle of the field. If he would try to stay aggressive, or if he would kind of just do his aggression later in the race by just falling back and setting pace laps, so... it'll definitely be interesting. But everyone in front of him is on the exact same pace, or not pace, the exact same strategy, so he does have to get past them, plus anybody else who maybe comes out ahead of him when they come out on mediums.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, got ourselves a battle for second place, led by the Frenchman Chevalier. Then it's Jean in third. Then it's Walsh in fourth. Sharp still hanging there in that 5th spot. And then the championship leader Tompkinson in the 6th place after making that error at the death chicane. And then you got McEwen, who was the first to make the pit stop, still leads away from Adams, from Milton. And then in 10th place is Edwards and Austin in 11th. And unfortunately, no Clements, because he unfortunately had a disconnect, and looks like he is not getting a chance to somewhat restart the lobby, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, there's always bad luck with online racing. It is what it is. You know, hopefully he just kind of knows that, like, it is what it is, and that is, I guess that's just not going to change anymore. Sometimes that happens all the time, right? Like, well,
he's gonna have to.
That sucks.
He's going to have to shandle his anger for race 3, because he'll be starting at the back of the field and he's just going to plough his way through and just don't give a crap, really. Anyways, I think Tompkinson is trying to get by Sharp. A little bit of touch and into turn 10. And Sharp will still hold on to that 5th position. Now, let's see what the gap is then.
And Adams are battling back behind as well.
I was just going to say
the gap. But McEwen does make the move stick down that straight.
Yeah, Rob there's showing a little bit of lag there. Again, we are on Ben's lobby here, and I mean, Ben was mentioning about that he's got new network or something like that, so it can be a little bit laggy. Like the NAT type could be a little bit iffy on the part of Ben, but it looks like we're gonna have a position change then for P7, possibly for P8.
Got to run as well.
He's got the overlap. He's going to pass Sharp going into its turn 1. Sean Koo all over the back of Chevalier, going on to lap 4 out of 9, and through into P5 now goes Tompkinson, so good pass on him.
It's weird because we have like 2 races going on right now. The 2 strategies haven't really separated from each other. So you got this back group of people that's like Adams, and we got Liam, Ben, Edwards. Like they're all racing on that medium strat. And then up in front, you've got everybody else who's on that super soft strat that are all kind of grouped up. So it's going to be interesting to see where these 2 groups collide. If they
McEwen's off! McEwen's sideways and off and backs it into the wall. Did he have help? Let's find out. Let's get it on board. Now, was he...
Ben is conceding right now.
So there must have been some contact. Yeah, he took a lot of curb there. Ben took a lot of curb, and then the car was a little bit jumpy in the air a little bit, and then got into McEwen. Now, what we have seen before was what happened to Tompkinson on Ben the last race was that he made a pass on Ben, spun him out, and lost the spot. Well, slowed down for him, and still got like a 3-second penalty because of it. So I wonder if the rules will still comply with Ben for that. But anyway, it allows his teammate Austin to go up into 9th place. But it's going to definitely cost Liam and Ben at least a win, because they were only 11 seconds behind Piper. Meanwhile, Sean has just passed Chevalier, but he's run 10-15 a little bit wide, and through goes Chevalier.
I'm impressed over here. Piper is on a really good consistency. I'm just going to be curious to see where it comes out. Everyone else is just battling so much that I wonder if it's going to work out that he's going to still be up there in the lead. I'm worried because Adams has been on a good pace. Edwards has been on a good pace. He's got good paces that are on different strats. And it's hard to tell where exactly these people are all going to come out against each other just yet. Because they've been battling so hard, their times aren't as consistent as they have been. Like, these are high 44s, low 45s, and then back in the back, well, not them, but yeah, it's the same times.
Into the second half of the race.
Yeah, they're just running the same time. They're running really close times right now in these 2 groups. And I think the back group is slightly catching up on them after that big accident.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Adam is still leading the way over Chevalier, but let's not forget what happened at Nürburgring Race 3 when he dominated the whole race and then lost out on like the penultimate corner. So fate doesn't want to happen to him yet again, but further behind, Sean is still trying to get by. But look at Thomas Welsh, he's going to go around the outside of Sean at turn 10. Not going to get it done. So it is Volvo 1, Renault 2, Honda 3, Volvo 4 and Honda 5. So you've got the 2 Volvos first and fourth and the 2 Hondas third and fifth. Careful with the death chicane, and they'll get through there fine. But Chevalier looks like he's definitely holding up the guys that are probably faster than ahead of them. I would have thought that with them 2 constantly battling, as Sean tries to go late on the brakes. He tried to do it the last lap. It didn't work. It looks like it's not going to work again.
Yeah,
he might have an overlap. He's done it this time. Oh, and Walsh goes into the pits. Walsh goes into the pit lane.
Start getting ready. That seems early, but we'll see.
Yeah, he did pit on the 5th lap,
guys. It's a long time defending on me. See, I'm going to worry about Chevalier, though. I think he's going to get too aggressive again. Oh, he might be able to actually get it here.
He's want to get it back at the chicane.
That's real
Tries to park the bus. He may lose out a couple of spots to his teammate Tompkinson. Tompkinson, gets into him.
Yeah, I think it comes back to that, like, never die kind of mentality, and I get it. It gets me all the time as well, where we can see someone like Tompkinson who will, like, allow you to get a couple of, just a little bit of a gap so that he can actually use the slipstream to an advantage. Chevalier, like myself, will like just battle for a lot of corners, and it's fun driving for sure. But in the grand scheme of things, like you're not like it's a lot better to take it where you know you can get that pass.
Now, I wonder if there's going to be team orders in the Honda cap, because Tompkinson's a championship leader. Oh, it's just is he let him by? Possibly. He may have let Tompkinson by. Yeah. So I think that was team orders there definitely coming into play for Tompkinson to go into second place. So Sean relegated to P3 and Chevalier still there in that fourth position. Sharp still having a great race in fifth. And Rob, I think, who actually made that pit stop, he was the first of the medium tyres, wasn't he? He's there in sixth place. He's only 11 seconds back off the leader Piper, in which I'm seeing Edwards and Walsh side by side. Bit of sparks flying towards the Dev Chicane. And Walsh backs out of it, so Edwards up into 8th place. Then you've got Austin in 9th. Quite lonely.
Chevalier. Oh, Chevalier might... This is just so tough for Chevalier. I feel bad for him. He's literally battling a team. Like, they can, like... And this is just going to let Tompkinson get away because Sean's battling back at him. Yeah. This is a tough spot to be in. Like, you want to be go, 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 and they're, like, team working against you, which is what they should be doing. But it's like, where's my teammate? Someone get up here and help me. Yeah, well, it doesn't help when Nathan Myers doesn't show up there, so he's the only lone Renault driver in the field. But he is still doing showing a good race here. Okay, he may have got penalised for the incident in the race 3 race at Lago Maggiore last week. But he's... McEwen are side by side in the back. I don't know what's... Oh, I remember what happened to them. Never mind. So they're still just racing their own race.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Because of the incident where they were coming out just a couple of laps ago.
What happens when you drive a BMW? You just kind of start to get those kind of tendencies.
Going back to what I was saying about Chevalier, he looks like he's getting the hang of this BTCC malarkey. Here. Yeah, he definitely is. Set the fastest lap in the first race, and he's showing a lot of potential here in the second race. But it's roughly about this time. He's going to have a look on the inside at Don Sean at 10-10. Little touchy-watchy, and up into third now.
Pretty light, and I mean, you could see he kind of was getting smarter about it. He gave a bigger gap that time. He didn't follow him just literally on his bumper, and he actually used a little bit of that slipstream to get that lunge. It's a little late, so that's aggressive. There's a little contact, but it's like BTCC, so that's like the least of anyone's worries probably, because Sean's coming right back at him.
Yeah, Chevalier put a forceful block on there, not trying to pass him on the inside, but Sean, he did this a couple of laps ago and it worked. He's not going to do it this time. Our driver's got to be pitting in this time by. It looks like Chevalier is. Sean trying to get a toe, but then stays out. Sharp has yet made a pit stop, and Rob is all over the back of the Vauxhall driver, as well as Edwards, as well as Thomas. So we've got the top 4 now that have not yet pitted. Out comes Chevalier in this battle for the 4th place. He's going to come up possibly behind Thomas. And then there is Austin in the 9th place. And you've got Ben and Liam side by side again for 10th and 11th respectively. And yeah, Chevalier comes out in 8th place now. Gap has come down a hell of a lot now to Piper to Tompkinson. 2.2 seconds. It was nearly 4 seconds a couple of laps ago when you had the 3 of them battling, the 2 Hondas and the Renault battling. But is it Piper's to lose? Is Nürburgring Race 3 going to strike yet again for Piper? Because Tompkinson is really coming.
Tompkinson's going to be a problem, so I'm sure he can recognize who's chasing him down. The gap is doable. Like, you can defend that. What I'm worried about is how fast was everybody in these other murder groups behind him, because we can see the times of him they're consistent. They're just a little bit higher than the best times from everybody else, but the best times from everybody else have random 46s and random 47s and stuff like that in there from all the battling they're doing. So he might be sitting in the perfect position for this to be his race to lose after he comes out of the pits here. It's just going to really come down to, did they battle too much behind, or did they battle just enough to still be in it back here?
Well, I was seeing the gap there between, because Rob started on those soft tyres. The gap is 12.7 seconds as he's trying to pass Sharp on the inside. So up into 4th now he goes. It's just going to see where he's going to come out with the top 3 ahead. Sharp actually now comes into the pits to change tyres. And is Piper going to come out ahead? Yes, indeed he does, by quite a margin. And there goes Tompkinson. So Adams is going to get ahead of Sean here as we're on to the last lap of the race. So it's Piper's to lose. He just doesn't want to mess the Dev Chicane, and he's got the win in the bag. But Tompkinson will probably not give this up without a fight.
That's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, Tompkinson's fastest laps are about a second off of what So yeah, he could gain about a second. He's got a 2-second lead. I think if he keeps it clean and has similar pace to his super softs in comparison to Tompkinson, as he goes a little wide, he should be able to hold this off pretty easy. It should be a race for second, third, and fourth now.
It's going to be a battle for P5 here. Cool and Walsh side by side towards the fast series of complex corners, and also Edwards is caught up to the back of Adams, so battle for the bottom step is happening. Meanwhile, Thomas in the Volvo is up into 5th place, so Sean down into that 6th place, and Chevalier down there in the distant 7th, but it looks like Adam has got this sewn up, depending if he doesn't do the mistake what Edwards did in the first race. Meanwhile, further back, Edwards trying to get that 3rd spot. He's just going to take his time, I reckon. Take his time, maybe? Yeah, that's fine. I think he's good to go. So Piper may win. And I tell you what, Tompkinson, try as he might, he went there absolutely Harry Flatters. There's not going to be that much time, though, to catch up onto Piper. But it's really the battle for the bottom step.
Look how much time he gained.
He gained a hell of a lot. Slower. Yeah, I think Piper took a little bit time there. And Tompkinson just went all hell for broke.
Side by side. Oh, that was a... good move from Thomas there.
Anyway, comes across the line. Piper wins his first race of the season. Tompkinson 2nd, 3rd for Adams, 4th for Lewis Edwards. It's going to be Thomas Welsh that holds on to 5th. Then it's Sean Cool. 7th is Chevalier. 8th is McEwen. Milton gets 9th. And Ash Sharp gets yet another 10th place finish. And then in last place Alex Austin.
Excellent.
And he crossed the line. There he goes. There he is. So there you go. That is the end. He must have made a mistake, actually, because he did 2 bad laps there, which unfortunately we didn't see. So there you go. Congratulations. Finally, the win has finally come for Adam Piper, and that will close the gap a little bit to Tompkinson, even though he did win the first race. And I can't mind if Piper finished 3rd in the first race or 2nd. I can't mind. But there you go. So there's the results then. Oh, sorry, I was just about to say. So there's the results there. Piper wins, so he's going to start 12th in the reverse grid. Tompkinson will start 11th. Then Adams will start 10th. Edwards will start 9th. Thomas Walsh gets a top 5. Sean Cool in 6th. 7th for Chevalier. 8th is McEwen. Milton 9th. Sharp gets 10th. Alex Austin in 11th. And unfortunately, a disconnect from Clements at the start of the race. There was no restart, unfortunately, for him. But he's going to start on the pole for race number 3. Because it's the reverse grid. So the front row, it will be Clements, then Austin, and then it will be Sharp and Milden on the 2nd row. And there you go.
Yeah, it was a great race. You know, Piper did a fantastic job of running his race. You know, you'll hear all the time people are like, just go run your race. Just like you use your race and let everybody else do whatever crazy stuff they're going to do. And a lot of times you'll see it just not pay off because a few people who are quicker than you won't make enough mistakes, they won't battle enough. But he really did just run his race up at the front, and everybody else decided they wanted to just have a big battle. And it worked out that, like, no one, even when they finally got laps, his pace was strong enough, even though he's already got a strong pace, that it just wasn't much of a battle. He just kind of ran away with it. It's stressful as a driver because you're watching the gap like a hawk, but at the same time, realistically looking back, like, did his job, got it done. No one even really put much pressure on him after lap 1 because he just ran his race.
I'm just seeing here in the chat there that Clements restarted the back of the grid for race 3 because he didn't participate in the 2nd race, so possibly. I forgot about that, actually. My apologies. So it will probably be Austin on the pole, then Sharp on the front row, and then it'll be Milden and McEwen. And Clements will be at the back of the field, sadly. But I think what got Piper the win was when Cool, Tompkinson and Chevalier were all battling for that 2nd spot. And then that's when that was when Piper pulled at least like 1.7 seconds away from them, and the gap was nearly up 4 seconds. And I think that's what got him the win. If they would have like worked together, I don't think Adam would have got the win.
Well, it looked like they kind of somewhat for a while were trying. If I remember right, the 2 Hondas were trying to like just fend off and almost separate, let Tompkinson go for the win while Sean defended, right? Against the attacking Chevalier. But to be fair, Chevalier kept his pace up in the defensives, so that Sean wasn't falling far enough away from Tompkinson that Tompkinson was getting away. Chevalier ran a good race in that section to try to keep it aggressive, so that kind of forced them into this battling, where, you know, I don't think they really wanted to. Obviously, you know, they had to. You can see the gap. They wanted to close the gap down. I mean, hats off to Chevalier. He was doing a great job of keeping in there. But, you know, it's a tough track, and I can't get around it without slamming the wall 10 or 15 times, so it's impressive to see anyone getting around there without bouncing off walls.
Especially the depth chicane. Always that problem, isn't it? Some drivers say they could take that flat out. I just think in the GR4 cars, I think you can in the GR3s, but for some reason you can't in the GR4 car.
You pretty much can in everything. Yeah, you can, for sure. It's all about angles, right? It's just
getting the line right, isn't it? It's just getting the line perfectly right.
It's all about angles. A lot of people prioritize to the incorrect stuff on it, I find, when they talk about how they have trouble with it, because you should be able to get your car, you should be far enough to the right on entrance up against that right wall. Depending on the time of day, there's a shadow that goes across, that you can get your car to cut across left, that you straighten out the right corner. The right corner should be straight. Like, when you're going right, it shouldn't be this whip to the right to try to get your car, like, to barely make it. Once you hit the entrance right, which is the scary part, because that's where you clip that inside wall, if you don't clip that inside wall and you get the line right, it should become real easy. Because there's not much turning in at that point. You are flat out in a straight line. The problem is that when you miss that entrance by any amount, it just throws so much off that you either have to lift or you have to change an angle. And some people just flat out take the chicane wrong. They try to, like, just get the thing to whip their car to the right all of a sudden, and it's like, you're never going to maintain that. You can't make the right hand turn. There's no such thing as the right hand turn, right? Like, that's too sharp. You have to straighten that turn out somehow, and it's just really tight against that left wall to do that.
Yeah, that is a difficult corner. Other than that, it's all fun, this circuit, isn't it? It's such a fun track.
It's a caster. I love the death chicane. One of my favorite parts of the race.
Just seeing Clements making his way through. Let's see if he can take this Harry flatness. No, he has a little lift. He's a little chicken. You can take that flat out, Chris. Go on. Flat out next time by if you're going to beat the next lap if you can.
That being said, every car isn't the same, right? Every car isn't the same. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, this is a one mate. This is a one mate.
Chevalier did it easy.
Oh,
well, no, I'm saying in general, every car isn't the same, and I guarantee you, I've never driven a Mazda, let alone a GR4 or really any of them. I've driven the GR3 that's like brand new and real loud, but no, I never drive Mazda, so who knows? Every car could be a little different.
You try driving the F1 car around here with the Super Formula. That's brave.
Oh, I bet. I mean, you'd be surprised. I find the high downforce cars easier through it. Like, the lower it gets sometimes, like, the GR3 is the absolute worst. GR2s have enough downforce and enough turning ability that you can kind of get through it a little bit easier. GR4s are slower than GR3s, which makes it a little bit easier, but GR3s, just kind of bouncing through there and praying to the wall gods, the GT Sport gods, anything you can to just get through there alive. GR4s, you're probably just praying to the wall gods. You don't need to reach out to all of them. Just give me, just like the wall gods is about all you need. Just make it through. But
so
it's kind of what makes the track exciting.
It does, it certainly does. So we're getting ready for the final race of the night, the third race. It'll be Austin, Sharp, Milden, McEwen, Chevalier, Gould, Welsh, Edwards, Adams, Tompkinson. 11th was the winner, Piper, and like I says there, Clements there at the back of the field. Another 9 laps for the third race, round 9 of the championship. The second half of the season will be getting on after this race. 5 LED lights are on, lights out, and away we go. Good start though, I think that was from Sharp from the second spot. Although Clements has parked this car right onto the pit wall nearly, but no, looks like Austin gets the jump, and here comes his teammate Milton on the outside of Sharp, going in towards the chicane now, turns 2 and 3. Let's see if he can get there all nice and tidy through there. Let's find out. Austin wants a little bit of understeer. Car's hitting the gravel trap. Another 2 forwards, just side by side. Walsh gets a little bit on the kitty litter, but he's all right. So it's 2 forwards, then 2 Vauxhalls, and then it's anyone's guess for 5th place on back. As they're nearly 3 abreast there with them. Deary me! And this is why the first grids are always exciting.
Yeah, Tompkinson has still not been able to really get much done back here in 10th either. I've been watching him like just trying to bounce around through all these cars, and no one's giving him any time. Oh, this is just going to end in like tears.
Oh, and now Sharp and Chevalier, they've had history before, and Sharp trying to let by. He has got by, but he's lost a spot to Sean. He may lose another one to Edwards now. So Chevalier is down to 7th place with that little moment with.
Too.
Oh, here comes Adams around the outside, going into its 10-10.
Light touch. Stay out there.
That must be a different line, but he's actually got the position, has he? Because he's going to get the toe. Yeah, he has. So Adams up into 7th, passing around the outside of Chevalier. Now towards the depth chicane. Oh, nice and tight through there. Yeah, okay, that was okay. That was good.
Flat out in the slip and dirty air. That's impressive. I can't believe no one hit that wall. Like, oh, I didn't see almost anyone lift. Oh, Adams makes a move up the inside of Sharp. People are starting to come in for the pits. Yeah, that'll be for the medium tyres. So it looks like McEwen is trying to go for the around the outside of Austin going into turn 1. If he can stay legitimately side by side with Austin, he's going to have the inside for turn 2, which indeed he does. And McEwen now makes his way into the lead of the race. So McEwen now in the lead. Sean Cool trying to get by Milden. 5th place is Adams, who's had a pretty he's had a great weekend of racing here with Adams. Great stuff from him. And Tompkinson all over the back of the Audi. Tompkinson, the championship leader, in 7th place. Sean's being opportunistic up here. He's going to go from, what was that, 5th to 3rd? 5th to 2nd?
5th to 2nd, he might have.
I think it was 4th. I believe.
Yeah, 4th to 2nd, and he's done it. Let's see if we can get a replay. So what happened here? Let's ride on board with Sean. This is turn 4, going into his turn 5. No contact. Milton a little bit late on the brakes. Then gets into the rear quarter panel of Austin, and then that's 2 positions for the price of 1, I'd reckon. And then up into 2nd place now goes Sean.
Yeah, Milton makes a move on Austin, and Adams is trying to get opportunistic with it and just follow him through. Yep, and he gets it too. Nice.
What's happened
trying to be opportunistic here. Chevalier's trying to as well.
Yeah, I was just saying where and there for Chevalier, because I couldn't see the yellow and blue car in behind this battle, but there he is, right in the toe of the Ford of Alex Austin. So a 6-car breakaway, followed by Tompkinson, and you got Thomas Welsh, who's had a pretty decent racing at Seaside, actually passes the championship leader.
Nice.
Austin's into the pits. Oh, he's trying to put a block on him. Oh, my goodness me! Oh, he's trying to pit. He's trying to pit as well as Tompkinson. Oh, okay then. I think Thomas wanted to pit, and I think Tompkinson was like, no.
Yeah, I wonder if for whatever reason Tompkinson wasn't pitting there, or if he was trying to pump him out so that he couldn't get in the... I don't know what was happening there. That was weird.
Yeah, that was a very awkward moment that was there. So anyway, Piper, there he is, now into 8th place. He's just past Sharp. Now they're all battling onto the super soft tyres. Leading the way is Austin, who has made that pit stop, and he comes out ahead. So you could effectively say Austin is leading the battle.
And Piper are going crazy battling.
Yeah. And they've got to be careful here, because Clements, who started dead last in the field, is going to work his way up now. Here they go over the brow of the hill now into towards turn 6. Oh, that's so close contact, close racing with Sharp and Clements. But Sharp holds on to that P9.
Yeah, Adams is now taking over Milton up here through the little hairpin. It was a little contact, but it was mostly clean. And then, surprise, surprise, there's Chevalier just hanging out in the battle like always, finding his way in there.
There he is there. Oh, he hits the wall! He hits the wall! He hits the wall! And that's that battle gone.
I told you, as a driver, I'm not a fan. Caster, that was awesome. But, yeah, those are totally different.
Absolutely. So again, Marino, I think that's the 2nd time he's done that today.
Clements is going to make a move down here. They're all battling too. It's a tough corner to get. Oh!
Sharp
missed his break. Either missed his break or Piper sat on the apex and it made him go wide. I didn't actually see it. It was probably just a little bit late on the break.
He'll probably get by him again because he will have help from Piper in that Volvo, so he could have it done.
He's trying to cut that slip off.
He has done. He has cut the slip. He's cut the slip off.
Very smart driving.
Oh, he's gone for 8th. He's gone for Piper.
Use it.
He's got it too. Oh, he's outbraked himself a little bit.
Oh, that's a little late.
Sharp is back through. Piper's down to 10th, and now Tompkinson and Welsh is in the battle now. Here we go. Oh, and Sharp's leading the whole field. Well, he's leading this whole pack.
Well, back there.
Oh, Piper! Contact 3-1 doesn't go at turn 5, and around goes Clements. Oh dear.
It's a rough day. It's a rough track. I'm still, even though it's nowhere near the death chicane, I still want to put blame on the death chicane. But with that being said, Sean is now in the lead of the race, and Rob Adams has moved his way all the way up into second with McEwen and Milden right there as well. So while we were watching that battling, there was clearly a little battling going up in the front, or just pitting maybe.
Back aboard again then with Sharp. He's riding. He's trying to get by Tompkinson. Puts a little contact there. Dearly me, this is why reverse grid races are so fun to watch. And yeah, yes, you're right there. Sean is in the lead of the race, followed by Adams and McEwen. And they're side by side in the depth chicane. And he's in the wall. No. 2-1 in the depth chicane does not go. It does not go.
It's so tough.
And they were side by side, weren't they? Neither one of them were going to back out of it. No, they weren't.
Well, it's such a wide area. It's hard to even determine what the racing line is, who has the right to which A. It's a tough area, man. Been there. It's hard.
Now Sharp's hard work there of his favourite track has all got up in smoke, and Clements has gone back again, as adding more insult to injury. Meanwhile, Sean in the lead, just about a second now ahead of Adams, McEwen in third, and a Milden in fourth. I don't think these four have yet pitted, I don't think, as well as the guy in fifth, and I think as well as the guy in sixth place, and actually holds the fastest lap, Lewis Edwards. Although maybe saying that he might have pitted, looking at his lap time as a 2:01 compared to the 1:54. So yeah, I'm guessing that Edwards may have pitted.
I'm pretty sure sixth and back, well, most of sixth and back have pitted. Maybe not. Yeah. There's a few actually that haven't. There's a few that are getting passed by people who've already pitted, it looks like, actually.
Right then, let's get on board then with Ben Milden, because it looks like he's got the best seat of the house. Looking on board then, the gap between the top four, 1.7 seconds, as they're heading towards, again, that death chicane. We've seen Chevalier hit it in this race. We've seen Sharp hit it. Milden just kisses the wall. He's going to lose some momentum.
That's a huge jump. No, that was a huge hit.
He's going to lose the slipstream.
It did the damage. Oh, but yeah, that was a lot of time lost. Pray for battles.
McEwen running a little wide, trying to get a good cutback though off the last
I think he's
corner.
trying to get that extra speed because he's got the slip anyway. So I think he was whipping it out and taking a late apex just so he could get on the throttle a little early. It's not going to actually cost him too much in the whole scheme of things because he should make it up down the back stretch. But it seems like slipstream isn't quite as pulling him quite as hard as I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a lot more like faster when you're in the slipstream. But it looks like to me it does.
Well,
it doesn't.
I glanced to see if he was lifting, which I may have just missed a lift or something, because it seemed like he should have pulled up and he just kind of sat at the exact same distance for a minute. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Tompkinson and Piper are still door-to-door battling, and Austin's in there too with Thomas.
Going in towards downhill towards turn 4. Volvo leading this battle, and the guy last of this battle is a Volvo, and Nathan has a look on the inside at turn 5. And Austin's going to try and make it 3 abreast. Can Thomas make it 4 abreast now? Look at this now. 3 abreast going in towards the fast right-hander. Austin gets a little bit into Tompkinson. And he's got P7, so Tompkinson's pace is so good, and his racing rise is phenomenal there. He's made it stick.
Very nice, yeah. It's really going to come down to this. I mean, they're battling right back into this corner as well.
Oh, is Piper wanting it back? No.
He's trying to block 2 people at once. He's getting attacked from everywhere.
He was at the back of this pack. He might get his own teammate there. He could upset the apple cart in the Volvo team battle.
Yeah. It's hard to go side by side through here. That's smart to just give it up immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Tompkinson and Sharp went side by side, and that went boobs up. Austin hits the wall. But let's see, back off front with the top four. Well, actually, Milton's lost the draft now, effectively. It is less than a second between Cool to McEwen in third. I think Chevalier may be closing up on the back of Ben in that Ford. So it is...
Gap's kind of, it's not maintaining, he's closing it up, but not like at any massive pace. If he can get into the slip range, that'll help out a lot, but staying outside of slip range, it kind of keeps it, you know, negated as, ooh, McEwen and Adams are really trying to run side by side all through this track.
I'm just noticing there in the top 8, we've got all 7 manufacturers in the top 8. It's only the 2 Honda drivers of Cool and Tompkinson are there in the top 8. That's quite interesting. All 7 manufacturers there. You're showing a Honda in first, an Audi second, a Vauxhall third, fourth is a Ford, then you've got a Renault fifth, a Nissan sixth, and you've got a Volvo in 8th. That's all 7 manufacturers in the top 8. Cool's pulling his way, pulling away from Adams in second.
Yeah, Adams is under quite a bit of pressure from McEwen, and McEwen wasn't making too many moves about 2 laps ago. Now he's starting to put that nose in places. Now he's starting to want to get by him and start trying. I think he may have decided Adams can't close this gap fast enough, so I need to get by him. So he started getting more aggressive about it, which has the wrong impact of it's slowing him down. Because now Milton's even caught up. Oh, Chevalier misses the chicane one more time.
Yeah, and he's got heavy damage. He's lost the 5th place now because Edwards has gone by. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the 2nd time he's done that. Yeah, that's a bigger hit than what he did in the first one.
Yeah, it's a tough chicane, you know. And once you get it wrong once, it just starts getting in your head. You start trying to overthink your angles.
You want to, go a little bit slower, don't you?
Fix your angles on the fly. You know, it's no different than when you randomly decide to change your pitch strategy in the middle of an hour-long race or a 2-hour-long race, and then you can't realize, and then you're surprised you ran out of fuel. It's like, well, you had a plan, you changed it. It's the same thing, right? You have to just go back to what works, but when it's not working, it sucks. It feels bad.
Gap sort of
Adam's closing it up a little bit.
Yeah, I was just about to say that then. The gap is starting to close down a bit now. And now we'll have to pit this time by because it is coming up. This is the penultimate lap of this race. I'm just seeing where Edwards is in all of this. 6.2, so I think this is Edwards to lose here.
Pretty good. I think this is Edwards to lose as well. I think he'll come out ahead of Sean. They're going to be going on to mediums. He's on... I think, you know, Edwards keeps it clean through the death chicane on this lap, and he should be in a position where only messing up the death chicane or going off the track loses him the race.
Let's have a look again at the battle for that 3rd spot, and now, yeah, that gap is definitely coming down. Less than a second between the top 3 now. It's right on board there. Bit of sparks flying from Adams. Got to be careful, don't hit the wall. Oh, which McEwen has done. That's going to allow Milton to catch up now. So it's a 4-car scrap for the leaders. They're all going to go into the pits for the last lap of this race.
Oh, yeah. Edwards is almost in this battle.
Edwards is nearly in it now. And there you go. The top 4 will come in.
He's like just outside of the slip. So yeah, he's going to go by. Moreno's only 2 seconds back of that, which means Moreno, that's how we're close to that name. Oh, he has to go in the pits as well, I forgot.
Oh, so yeah. And out goes Sean, and look at that, McEwen.
Gone.
Yeah, Edwards is gone. So it's effectively the battle now for P2.
It's still a tight battle for P2, and we do have Tompkinson quite a bit back. He is on the super softs, and if they're battling too hard and wrecking, he can get some free positions right here. Because he should be bringing the gap down anyways.
It must be a hard thing for McEwen because I think Rob is quite a bit laggy, so I don't know if McEwen is a bit reluctant to get by Adams in case if his car lags, like just right there.
Yeah, I think it's tough because you can't tell what's a mistake and what's a lag. So eventually you can't pass it's hard to pass a lagging car under their mistakes. You need to just pass them under what a real racing pass would be. So kind of like he's doing now, he's got kind of a slip set up. He's not quite close enough, but he's not far enough away. Yeah, this might actually work out. And he's just got to pass him like he's a real race car and just ignore the lag as best he can. Because now you know he's going to take the outside line, so you just take the inside line. No matter how hard he's lagging outside, just stay on the inside.
Can he
And this
get
might
the
actually work
run? No, he didn't.
Ooh, not quite.
Not yet. But there's
I think you do it. I think you try to get this side by side. It's that chicane. It will win you a race.
Go for
It'll
broke.
win you the battle.
Do or die attempt here. Ben just scraped the wall. So we're down to 3 for the battle for the podium now. They're going to have to do a do or die attempt at 10:15 here, riding on board with McCune. She's going to have a look to the inside, makes a little contact with Adams, but keeps holding on to it though. But anyway, here comes Edwards, the returning driver, replacing Colin Barlow for this race. He wins today, his first win. Who's going to get second place? It's going to be cool. Just then it'll be Adams. That was a great battle for second place. Good fun racing between them 4. 4th is McEwen, 5th is Ben Moulton. Tompkinson just finishes ahead of his championship contender Adam Piper. Colin Barlow, I was going to say that. Chevalier in 8th. Alex Austin, a decent result in 9th. And then 10th place goes to Thomas Walsh and Clements, who was spun around on lap 4 by Sharp, finishes 11th. And then here comes Ash across the line to finish in last place after being severely damaged at the Death Chicane.
Yeah, I mean, tough race for some people, but I think anytime you look at a schedule, I know I've looked at them before and looked at tracks, and yeah, Dragon Trail Seaside is one of those tracks that when I see it, I'm like, oh, it's a fun track, but that race might go bad. Like that has something that is somewhat out of my control. Most tracks don't just randomly have a chicane that's out of your control, whether your race gets killed by it or not. Like, you have a lot of control over it, but other people also can make bad decisions that just end you there. So I think anyone who steps into a race at Seaside knows going into it, like, nah, I might be the unlucky ones.
Yeah, indeed.
But I mean, it was a fantastic race.
There was a good race in there. The battle for second place was clean, and that's what we wanted to see. Only just less of the second separating Gould to second to Milden down in 5th. That was how close it was at the finish line. So what was also perfect for Edwards was he won the race and also secured the fastest lap of that race too, with a 1:44.2, which is probably the fastest that we've seen during the stream. I think the fastest was in practice was himself with a 1:44.3, so he's even bettered it. So stunning drive that from Lewis Edwards, and made a welcome return back to the series, and he's picked up a win in the fastest lap for Nissan, so that's good to see. But anyway, that's the first half of the race completed there, Jerry. So we've got another 3 rounds to go. So the championship is not over just yet.
Yep. Excellent. I'm excited. The races are tight, and I can't wait for next week.
Hopefully it'll be a lot more better, pick the better track instead of no Death Chicane as it was tonight. But anyways, that's been the first half of the BTCC Blueprints with STDash Designs round 3 of the championship at, I forgot what the track was called, Dragon Trail Seaside. That was it. Next week is going to start the second half of the season. But until then, I've been Sean.
And I'm Jerry.
And we'll see you again next week for round 4 of the championship.